Manipur is a small state situated in the northeastern region of India. The state is endowed with many great qualities and features of its own. The courage and abilities of women folk of this state is famous and often cited throughout the world. Ima Gaidinliu, popularly known as Rani Gaidinliu, is one of such exceptionally courageous women born from this state. Manipur came under the British rule after the Anglo-Manipur War of 1891. After their conquest of Manipur, the people of this once independent kingdom started facing many hardships due to the atrocities of the British. Gaidinliu fought against this oppression of the mighty British in her own way.
Northeast assume nupi masa amakana India gi Magadile British pu land ni thoiba aduga 14 live imprisonment ni ma pi si adu akhoi Indiana Tanzania independence phanga lothokpa da chahi ta mari ta ma hajilapko da 14 years sabi wani karimba Indiana independence phanga di ma adum jel sikini aduna masi ma sacrifice sabongba magi mayum padriba napa nabo kano tawdriba asimo myam si damta yengurigadi si umu damta yengurigadi ma se dedication abdo oimi.
Acknowledging this contribution, India's first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru honored her by giving the title of Rani. Most recently, in 2015, the central government organized the 100th birth anniversary of Rani Gaidinliu in various places throughout the country. Rani Gaidinliu was born on 26 January 1915 in a small remote village called Longkao in Tamenglong district. This village is situated in a hilltop alongside the Imphal-Silchar highway road of the present day. His father Lothonang and mother Kachotli Liu indulged in petty farming to raise their 7 children, including Gaidinliu.
Haipai Rani Gaidinliu si Gaidinliu Pamailu haini mak se Longkao khundigi ekhoi pamai sage gi kalot thol haiba ekhoi mapa gi mami ni mama gi mami na kachot leliu haini mak se angang oini digi ekhoi lai na maonda samnabo ina dudu na messenger na thakpo gi phemo na tai aji maitai na nungao hai longkao se aduga puilon habisina akhoi kambiron hai ani si distance am thapi ke khong na mi amana sun han di lambi leti khong jabda chinglak ta malak ta lakpa matam du akhoi gi mile kun kun tha mo ki sa orang da nupi macha ma thandra nungao simon nungsin gi po bo pung ama ni ga dwa di chakni sa pase min di asi ngao boy kari boy tawbra na khannu jani adu ma ne he sabse moigi khungi singkhong khonna du khun panghai khundai panghai madugi marak da akhogi nabi simi urak warak te ta kajaw mu thoga madu tong chakhi hai adu madu akon ba ni rak yengon da masi ma chali se phagi na to chalga ta ni huni ta ude hapta mu de sim tawga chali la hale ta masi kari dawja no to moi pakhun gi pakhang sa singna yemda hori haigum da kai tong chakhi du da madu da miyam na thajab se pole.
In those days, Manipur could not see the light of development except few places in Imphal area, and hence road and other infrastructural aspects in the rest of the state were unaccountable. The British, from time to time, added to the woes of the people with its imposition of heavy taxes, most of which were unnecessary and targeted only to suffer its colonized people. Gaidinliu was one such woman who braved the British by standing against them by following the footsteps of the then political leader of Hills, Haipok Jadonang.
Magi mangda puilonda mulangmai Jadonang lai thoramda sinthada aduga kui jati gi leader oina project toba amakalai maduda salo haina satli mata semokti mangonda direction pekpa matungina oja guru mugi makhada lamjing mugi makhada chatna bhai pirakujane adunani natragde mathanda struggle hobu yai adu mathamandu Jadonang di British yadan lan program tole British ke wa India de na amulok pharu re thado maram letena maduna Jadonang ge wari oikhe ma phari do kari no English sauna chagon tongba adu tu bi pa British ga respect pi do asi mo myam je masi mo se ma pha thado adu ma magun je sum hinjile adu Rani Gaidinliu sum lai Rani Gaidinliu se la ga di ma se nang pi singi troop leader ro adu nang no pi singi govern to ro adu ga si to ro anta lai tin British Putan thokna gi dong ta mawani se
Haipok Jadonang was already going strong in his freedom movement against the British when the teenage Gaidinliu met him, and the meeting proved to be an important turning point in her life. The British gave death sentence to Jadonang for his anti-British movement in 1931.
Jadonang sibo August ki 29 1931 gi duzaba heng tor matung da mana tori se jemai lengmai rongmai puimai masi masang da adugi half of the Assam gi mayam si mana struggle how the mafam ani hum si sum chat chat tawru sira British na tan ga magulong da mi kap khai mayum loin thai adugi ani suba battlefield na hanglum da Assam da madu loin mang nupi nga habs yauri admai to ma se matham to su ma se pha no ta no sira ma se miro ne chele miro chem se khunma mafam da tham ga se khon ta jab di I mapun mar da singda ma khalai I se am bhajana afabata lawrga mapun oina lep hena pullaga mayom ga heta thanga pui madigi mark to ga ma se phano ta no da maro ba struggle se ani ne British santhonu hono da British ki kare ne advantage lawrga Christianity singsina akhoi bo hato loire phal loire habu mugi phem da su khanbra Christian namchin ne bo khanbra adu mom su mo da lehiba madu ma ma du na mo da mi kana warning da na satpat lot na adu mo du lot na sapat da hadi ba I ma da yom pu ga meeting to
After his death, his nearest aide, Gaidinliu, carried on the freedom struggle started by him. It may be mentioned that this was the time when India's freedom struggle was at its peak in the whole of India, having various movements in its nook and corner of the country.
British kia yimthong test lauba amadu pothang pu base mhak yaning ngamde mhak ko khalunda aduna maram oidana mhak masa habi nupi masa ma oina singmi ningona ma oina mhakna British ki matam da ge mhakna yamna ningam dan laki adubu mathang saw khalakwa matam da di mhak ase ima amagi saktam laudana nupi amagi saktam laudana mhakna numita de hariba British sarkar matak mhak la thengnaki
thuyeng hariba mafam da magi laisang saga to magi arom kem le aduna magi arom kem ni mi ga na khan ta hande ma mo yamna lu na kan to mi ga tani aduga magi Rani Gaidinliu gi sina hojiki puilwa hari bisi hekta Majokobiri Manipur gi boundary gi hek wang da na awang lom da sakhiba khoi ngami sing khoi gi jati sing jemai sing libam phom da puilwa hari ba ma English sing di follow me and
Apart from her anti-British struggle, another important objective of Rani Gaidinliu was to integrate the Zeliangrong community people of Assam, Nagaland, and Manipur under one political roof and to keep the slowly invading foreign religions, including Christianity, at bay. For this, she worked hard by touring various remote corners of these three states to integrate people. Unfortunately, this wish was not fulfilled in her lifetime and still not yet. She introduced a new cult religion called Heraka, based on the ancient indigenous customs and beliefs of Jeliarongs, as an attempt to shield other foreign religions.
Heraka se kai mai sumi an mai ni di heraka tawni hek hon mi da yan di leitre adigi kai kaw su khara mi an mai ni leibni ahui su mi ani hum chong thok pani hik te se ma hoi muk loin khalle hala hoi long kaw sidadi amata su bek tawde adigi je mai sing su adum haplong da leiba mising so dum marani ki dharma se dum chatton lai hoi hoi gi Tamenglong area sidadi hoi hun maktani hojik se heraka tawri se imlak jang hai rom lai.
On hearing that Gaidinliu had went underground and had set up a secret revolutionary group, the British started their search for her strongly more than ever. They finally arrested her from a remote area of Nagaland in 1931. The then British political agent of Manipur, Higgins, ordered her life imprisonment on the charge of murder and revolt against the British.
마부 파레 파르가 제일 세이 트라마리 마탕 마탕 마니푸르도 보래 나글레 아무도 거의 마탕에 마니푸르 보래 아주 마니푸리 과티 토라 실롱 아두기 아졸가 와함 거쳐서 세이 트라마리 좀나 제 탕동다 막시 실롱다 저란네로 오너간다.
This young girl of merely 16 years of age was put behind bars in jail. We could see here how exceptional and extremely brave she was as she had sacrificed the prime of her youth life for the welfare and freedom of her people. It was much later in the year 1947 when India attained independence that she was released from jail.
Asigumba Manipur da leba simi amana British Sarkar ge matta asawba antolon tawki. Karamana tawki magna Manipur da laiba British Sarkar sigi mathakta sing da pothang puba yade aduga makoina tawningba mong da ko bo tawraga makoina import tax labusu yade hada akan bai ho man lakhi ko ge India ge hanba prime minister na yam ngakhi hai pikraba yamna nawriba nupi masa singi ningo na manas mana haibisidi yamna ngakna thoki nahakti Manipur gi lemjinanga oraba imani aidana madudagi na mangbu Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru na Rani haiba mungthon se piki.
The prestigious title of Rani was given to Gaidinliu in 1937 while she was in Shillong jail. The then president of Indian National Congress and India's first prime minister was amazed on hearing the extraordinary courage and patriotism of this young lady and gave her this title.
मसे ब्रिटिश सिंबु तानथो लाइतनबा होनबा तालुबगी दमकता मरमदा मा फावनी अदुदी मसी नॉर्थ ईस्ट की मागेद ब्रिटिश कन लान तौनो नागा नुपी मसा मसे लई हाइसे याम नुआई ताबतसु रुगा मासी माई ममिंग दि रानी हाइब टाइटल पिरमे मादुदु पिरम मतुंग मासे इंडिया ने इंडिपेंडेंस 1947 की 15 अगस्त की मतुंग इंडिपेंडेंस होनो मतुंग दा मासे कंडीशन ताम येंगा मासे थादोपिरे मतम खर माने हेक थादोपिबा फ्रीडम फाइटर की पेन सिन पे से मा लौई एन्जॉय तोई मतम दु अखोय के सामनो द अखोय अंगांग मचा ओइना साननरिङै द मासे लाई अदुगे लेइबसु अखोय अबोक माखेमु हाइबगे इमुंग लेइ आइजि के सामनो बोकनी हजि जि चिमेम लेबनी मतम द अखोय अंगांग ओइना का असमा गादिलु नि हैना हाफेट ताब लाई अदुगा मानो मतमदो हे लापदुरा कैसामदोंदा काखलोंदा अदुगे मयाम फमिनरगा नुपी अंगांग फमिनरगा आनी फमिनर फोटो नमगा सल याम ले.
After a life full of sacrifices, sufferings, and struggle for the freedom of her land and its people, Rani Gaidinliu came back to her village. She spent her final days there among her very own people.
Taibang mi di siram dai da kapaga thengnai kapak ognai aduga sanga di siraga purakanda harauna noi aduga taibang mi di siraga kun yum porak pa kanda kappa na oi pot ok pasi kappa oi madu di ai di madu yaroi ai taubi ba ngamba makhai di ai taubi gani area si gi damakta aduga India gi damakta aina tau pham thokpa ai taubi raga si pham siramdai dadi kun asi da ai si da yaroi hanama hairame masi isa isu mayam nukhoi khangaga masi dadi nukhoi khangbi uko ningsing bi uko sa nga na te ai si mini taibang mini adubu ai siramdai de kun asi da ai aina pokpham da ai si gani
machin bangang mo wafam ni asi ai pokpham da de si gani siram sum pokpham phau de ai siram gani hana masana lepe de masa khoina wana maya jemai singa roina masida lungau sida porak laga
ma si sahi ama rom masida ahan malakpa matam nadi ma sondri kun asi de ma sola aga si hibni
ana badu hanu webelegi na bedegi ponsi waina dum nungau pokpham sida ma si haure
aina satpa mafam jaga makhaido nunga yafa phangani aduga kun asi gi damaktadi ai siram tungdana nukhoi nunga yafa phangani I kun isa gi damakta I kun gi damakta ai sembi ba mata yaudri ai siram matungdana nukhoi lai dauna satuna laigani haina masima aruba paudam oina ma hairame khoida.
She breathed her last at the age of 78 on February 17, 1993 in the same house where she was born. Recognizing the extraordinary qualities and contribution of her, historians and intellectuals often compared Rani Gaidinliu with other prominent world lady figures such as Joan of Arc and Jhansi's Rani Lakshmibai. Her life is adorned with many prominent honors and awards, most prominent being the Padma Bhushan awarded by the government of India in 1982 and before that the Tamrapatra Award in 1972. Other notable awards include the Vivekananda Seva Sanman Award, Bhagavan Birsa Munda Puraskar Award, and Stri Shakti Puraskar Award, etc. Posthumously, the government of India released a postal stamp in her honor in 1996. Also, the Indian Coast Guard had named one of its inshore patrol vessels as Rani Gaidinliu. Recently, in the year 2015, the 100th or centenary birth anniversary of Rani Gaidinliu was observed throughout the country in a grand manner. Also, Kabui Mothers Association organized the celebration in Manipur with the attendance of top government dignitaries.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯣꯔꯠ ꯏꯁꯇꯔꯟꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯅꯠꯇꯗꯨꯅ ꯅꯣꯔꯠ ꯏꯁꯇꯔꯟꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯑꯃꯈꯛꯇ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯝꯗꯝ ꯏꯔꯩꯕꯥꯛꯇꯁꯨ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯕꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯀꯕꯨꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯖꯦꯂꯦꯡꯔꯣꯡꯒꯤ ꯏ ꯑꯣꯏꯖꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯔꯝꯗꯝꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯕꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯀꯥꯟꯁꯤꯗ ꯍꯩꯄꯩ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂꯨꯁꯦ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯁꯨ ꯃꯁꯛ ꯈꯪꯕꯤꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯏꯞꯇ ꯂꯩꯕꯗꯨꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯀꯃꯥ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯅ ꯃꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯨꯃꯤꯟꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯉꯥꯏꯔꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯨꯅ 2005ꯇꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯅ ꯍꯩꯄꯩ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂꯨꯒꯤ ꯕꯥꯔꯊ ꯑꯦꯅꯤꯚꯔꯁꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯣꯕꯖꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯍꯧꯈꯤꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯔꯨꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯁꯦ ꯃꯔꯥꯏꯕꯛ ꯊꯤꯕꯅꯤꯅꯦ ꯃꯤꯔꯝꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯒꯤ ꯖꯥꯇꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯣ ꯍꯩꯄꯩ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂꯨꯁꯦ ꯁꯔꯒ ꯌꯧꯔꯕꯅꯦ ꯄꯨꯡꯂꯪ ꯂꯪꯈ꯭ꯔꯗꯕꯅꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯝꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯁꯨ ꯃꯊꯛꯇ ꯍꯟꯗꯛꯇ ꯅꯔꯦꯟꯗ꯭ꯔ ꯃꯣꯗꯤ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯅꯁꯨꯀꯣ ꯍꯩꯄꯩ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯅꯥꯒꯥꯂꯦꯟꯗ ꯐꯟ ꯄꯦꯀꯦꯖ ꯄꯤꯊꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯁꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯄꯨꯛꯅꯤꯡ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤ ꯃꯔꯝꯗꯤ ꯃꯍꯥꯛ ꯅꯥꯒꯥꯂꯦꯟꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯖꯦꯂꯦꯡꯔꯣꯡ ꯀꯕꯨꯏ ꯅꯨꯄꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯦꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯊꯧꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯝꯗꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯕꯤꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯖꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯅꯥꯒꯥꯂꯦꯟ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯦꯔꯥ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯟ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯦꯔꯥ ꯕꯦꯡꯀꯣꯛ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯦꯔꯥ ꯁꯦꯝꯖꯧ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯃꯔꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯃꯈꯣꯡ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯅꯦꯠꯊꯕ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯄꯣꯛꯅꯐꯝ ꯂꯝꯗꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯌꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯕꯅꯤꯗ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂꯨꯒꯤ ꯕꯥꯔꯊꯗꯦ ꯏꯍꯥꯟ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ 2005ꯇ ꯑꯣꯕꯖꯔꯕ ꯇꯧꯕꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯊꯤꯝꯁꯦ ꯇꯨ ꯕꯣꯔꯟ ꯑꯒꯦꯟ ꯂꯥꯏꯠ ꯍꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯤꯝ ꯏꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯨꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯊꯧꯅꯥ ꯃꯔꯤꯡꯖꯦꯜ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯨꯄꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯔꯝꯗꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯆꯁꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯊꯤꯝꯁꯦ ꯏꯖꯈꯤ.
The chieftain of Longkau village, where Gaidinliu was born, expressed disappointment and dissatisfaction over the present pitiable condition of this village.
Ima Rani freedom fighter oina lerega hojik phawba mami amasu phangdre Longkau ꯑꯄꯣꯛꯐꯝꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯒꯦꯠ ꯍꯧ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯤ ꯂꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯗ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯧꯔꯨꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯔꯨꯔꯒ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯤ ꯂꯝꯁꯦ ꯀꯠꯄꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯩꯁꯥ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯂꯧꯗꯗꯅ ꯌꯨꯝꯐꯝ ꯄꯤꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯗꯤ ꯑꯆꯨꯝꯕꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯊꯥꯖꯗꯨꯅ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯆꯨꯝꯕꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯐꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯅꯤꯁꯨꯕꯅ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯟ ꯔꯣꯗꯗꯒꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯃꯣꯡꯐꯝꯗ ꯃꯤꯖꯣꯔꯥꯝ ꯃꯤꯅꯤꯁꯇꯔꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯤꯔꯛꯀꯦ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯃꯤꯖꯣꯔꯥꯝ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯗ ꯄꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯅꯤꯔꯒ ꯅꯪ ꯁꯦꯝꯒꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯕꯤ ꯄꯤ ꯄꯥꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯜꯂꯤꯉꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯃꯤꯖꯣꯔꯥꯝ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯨꯔꯒ ꯑꯃꯠꯁꯨ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯤꯗꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯄꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯄꯣꯛꯏꯕ ꯐ꯭ꯔꯤꯗꯝ ꯐꯥꯏꯇꯔ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯑꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯃꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯅꯤꯡꯁꯤꯡꯗꯕꯁꯦ ꯐꯥꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂ꯭ꯌꯨꯅ ꯍꯦꯛ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯄꯣꯛꯅꯐꯝ ꯂꯝꯗꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯀꯥꯎꯗꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯎꯔꯤꯕ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂ꯭ꯌꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯛꯈꯤꯕ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯍꯤꯞ ꯇꯥꯟꯈꯤꯕ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯤ Authorities concerned so far have not been taking a single measure to safeguard and protect the artifacts, clothes, and other items that were used by the Rani in her lifetime. More unfortunately, this village, situated atop a hill area, has not been endowed with the basic life facilities of this 21st century, such as power, water, and technology. It will be extremely precious for the researchers and future generation to work on the personal items of a prominent figure like Rani Gaidinliu. But the sad part is that these items are not taken care of. This negligence by the authorities has been posing as an additional burden to the family members. ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯁꯪꯁꯥꯔ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯍꯤꯡꯂꯤꯕ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂ꯭ꯌꯨꯒꯤ ꯈ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯅꯛꯅꯕ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯕꯨꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯁꯨꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯕꯤꯒ ꯎꯅꯖꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯧꯖꯔꯤ
Rồi liang mi ka pa ru ang tingko ru ang ta kalom mai ma ai apa ra ni kai khon hau hai ai apa ra ni thai tai mi tang na ai tho wang long de ma ka ma song ham liang mai mai the ai ya ma ano re na alu ka nai po lo we
ꯏꯆꯦꯁꯦ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯔꯥꯅꯤ ꯒꯥꯏꯗꯤꯟꯂ꯭ꯌꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯔꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯧ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯥ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯃꯥꯁꯦ ꯌꯨꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯈꯨꯟꯗꯁꯨ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯃꯥ ꯇꯧꯅꯤꯡꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯥꯒꯥꯒꯤ ꯏꯁꯨꯗ ꯃꯥ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯃꯥ ꯇꯧꯈꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯁꯦ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯁꯨ ꯀꯔꯤꯁꯨ ꯌꯨꯝꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯕꯅꯤ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯔꯥꯅꯤꯒꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯗꯤꯐꯪ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯏꯃꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯌꯨꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯋꯥꯔ ꯑꯄꯥꯔ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯜꯆꯔꯦꯜꯒꯤ ꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯁ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯃꯛ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯊꯝꯂꯝꯂꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯋꯦ ꯑꯗꯣ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯁꯤꯟꯂꯒ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯤꯒꯦ
Here, we want to wish that the only befitting tribute to such a legendary freedom fighter will be to pay proper attention to her life, her family members, and the village where Rani was born.
Thebong Pambi Mana Sidring Dagi I Sirabdi Agi Mong Pam Asida Tobiu Hana Mana Takpirame. Hosik Mabu Pumi Mapam do Mana Takpi Mapam. Asabu Wakan Lite Mangonda. Aduga Equegi Dama Taibang Mi Hipsi Kana Matabu Equi Nungsi Roidabamina later Laigunusi. Taibang Mi Hipsi Mi Mayam Mayang Kang de Pangan Kang de Maitai Kang de ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯇꯥꯏꯕꯪ ꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯏꯁꯣꯔꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯕꯤꯕꯅꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯅꯅ ꯃꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤ ꯂꯤꯡꯖꯦꯜ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯩꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯇꯞꯄ ꯋꯥꯈꯜ ꯃꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯕꯨ ꯂꯤꯡꯖꯦꯜ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯈꯜꯗ ꯑꯁꯨꯝ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯇꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯇꯝꯃꯤ.
It is indeed said that today's generation and the younger lot could not recognize the true worth of this freedom fighter and failed to pay due respect to her. Family members and leaders from various parts of Manipur dream of having a proper memorial complex and museum for Rani Gaidinliu. After all, she is undoubtedly the greatest political, social, religious, and spiritual woman leader of the state, a woman who believes in the saying, quote, "The idea of perfect womanhood is perfect independence," unquote.